Hello everyone, today I'm going to be painting this winter apple tree, and I'm going to show you how to paint tree bark with a palette knife. The first thing I'm going to do is mix a medium brown using titanium white, burnt sienna, and raw umber. This is the only brown that I'm going to mix to begin with, and everything else is going to be mixed on the brush. And the first thing I'm going to do is just scrub in some white for the snow using a very stiff dagger brush, just to give myself a guide of where not to put brown. And then there is a handrail here in the foreground, so I'm going to scrub that in. And then I'm going to begin putting in the tree bark. And I've got a couple colors on the palette knife here, that brown that I mixed earlier and a little bit of raw umber. And when I want to put in broad swaths of color, I use the side. And when I want to put in that textural tree bark, I use the tip. And as I work, I'm constantly grabbing different browns according to what area of the tree I'm looking at. Here we've got a little shadow area between two trunks. And now grabbing some lighter paint. The most interesting thing here is the way the paint breaks against the surface of the canvas. The unexpected nature of it, the uncontrollable nature of it. It gives you a very natural effect. And of course, digging into the paint with the tip of the brush, it gives you that ragged, jagged, natural bark effect. And then there's a little knot in the tree right here. And I want a little bit more control over what I'm doing, so I'm using a small dagger brush to put that in. Using a dagger brush is not dissimilar from using a palette knife because it's so hard, so stiff, and the bristles are so short that it's like using a blunt object. But the paint does get down into the bristles, so you can hold quite a bit more paint. And it's especially useful for something like this where I'm dry brushing white over that red background, and you can just spread and spread almost forever because the paint really gets down in between those bristles. Okay, now I am putting in the snow, and I'm going to put that in extremely opaquely. So I'm just loading up the brush. I always find it a fun challenge to see how thick and opaque I can get a white paint in one pass. Especially when I'm looking at a real subject, like in this case I was looking out a window at this tree. It's an apple tree that was slowly being buried in the snow. You can never quite get the white on the canvas quite as bright and blinding as the snow that you'd see in real life, but it's fun to try. And this close-up, I think, really shows the level of realism that you can get painting particularly this type of subject with these types of brushes. You can really see that tree bark. Now I'm just going to load up the snow onto that handrail and paint in the shadows to give it some dimension and really push that tree into the background. Now I'm just giving a little bit of a sense of an environment by painting in these tree branches. And signing my name with the tip of the brush handle. Now I just wanted to show you the subject that I was working on and where I was working. My view out the window by the end was pretty obscured by all the snow melting on the window. And this is how I had it set up, just painting on a chair, palette on the other, and you can see how messy it got by the end. I'm really happy with this one. You know, this is the kind of product that I look for when I'm doing a plein air sketch. What I really want is just getting the colors right, getting some dimensionality, and really learning something. And with this one, I feel like I did learn something about using a palette knife and the different types of control that you can wield over it, different types of brushstrokes that you can achieve. And I hope you learned something too. It really means a lot to me that people are watching these videos. And if you'd like to see more and help me grow this channel, then please subscribe and share it with your friends. Nothing helps me more than those two things. Thanks. Bye-bye.